Good morning, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the two Dum Yinzers. This is episode 203. Mike, we are less than 3 weeks away from Christmas. This time, 3 weeks from now, Christmas will be over. We'll be heading to the new year.
Yes, I can't wait for Christmas to be over. 3 more weeks. That means 3 more weeks of crazy hours for me. 3 more weeks of me hating people leading into the holiday, because that's what you want to feel.
Well, I don't know if that's gonna be such a big difference. I mean, 3 weeks till you hate people. I thought you were already there.
Well, I already hate people, but hate people even more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah. I'm just tired of people.
You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of pets. I don't. I've chose most of my life not to have pets, and here's the thing: I don't mind them. I don't mind when people have them, but when you have to deal with them on an everyday basis, boy, are they a pain in the ass.
Yeah, yes, they are, especially when they're not yours.
I mean, does the pain in the ass things that the pets do, does it really weigh out to, do you really want them that much? Do you need that pet that much
No.
to where it evens out for all the bullshit, the shit you constantly have to clean, throw up you have to clean constantly? I don't know. I can't get it. And like I said, people that like them and people that enjoy doing that, I whatever, but I just don't get it, man.
Neither do I. Pets are annoying, especially when they're not yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to help take care of them. I just I want simple pets. That's why I like lizards. They're cool, they're chill, they keep to themselves. They don't wander throughout the house.
Well, we kind of have, as you know, a community cat here at the studio,
Yes.
and the community cat surprised me on my way into the studio this morning to do the show with a nice vomit pond of vomit.
That's just the cat saying I love you.
And like I said, I mean, what do you really get out of having a pet besides, more pain in the ass, more responsibility, more, do you really, um, I mean, there's pet
Yeah.
lovers, but everybody else, I mean, we don't really love having animals, but
Well, I don't love those animals that we're referring to. I like them, but I don't love them. But when I had the cat, yeah, give me that cat. My cat was cool. My cat was chill. My cat always sat on my shoulder like a parrot.
I don't know. They're always needy. They need they need stuff. They want to eat. They have to,
Yeah, I know what you mean. Cat.
I could barely get through my own day with making sure that, I'm healthy and fed and, I don't know, these people with these cats, I
See,
just
I
can't,
like
I can't.
cats.
And
I like cats.
see, the cats are the more mellow of
Yes, yes,
the
they
two
are.
out of the dogs and the cats. However, cats are a little bit too smart because if they get upset with you, they'll throw up, or you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or they have this spiteful way
Yes.
about them that I just don't have the energy or the want to deal with.
Yeah, but see, they're better than dogs. Dogs are stupid.
No,
I don't get the appeal of dogs. Give me a cat any day of the week because the cat can take care of itself. The dog.
a lot of times it's women. They have to have these pets. They have to have dogs. They have to have big dogs. They have to have dogs that they can't take care of. And and that's a pain in the ass. And here's the thing: there are people that walk, in the door after a long day's work, and they love when the dog jumps up on them, and they love
Yeah.
rubbing their ears and giving them kisses. And I can't, I can't do that after a long day of work. I just leave me alone. I don't even want to see you. And and guys, I mean, there are guys too. There are guys that are these dog guys that you see them
Hmm.
out, running with their dogs, and I don't know. I obviously it's not for me,
Yeah, we can tell that it is definitely not for you.
but I'm just having a hard time just trying to even wrap my mind around what it is about these people that have to have these dogs and these, ca- and it's their lifelong companion, and, and excuse me, and their best friends. And. Oh, for fuck's sake, with these pets.
You have a real hatred of pets. It's scary.
And you know what? It wasn't as bad until I just had to step over that puke pond on my way into the studio.
Yeah, that's understandable. I,
Now it's yeah, I have this hatred.
you do. It is very deep-seated hatred. I don't get it. That cat is awesome. Uh
Hmm.
huh.
So you got your desk in
Yeah.
at the
Oh, it's almost done. If another 20 minutes, I would have been done and ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
I know,
you.
right?
What do you got? Thermos? What is that? What are you drinking?
Some type of water. It's, perfectly pH'd, purified water.
What's
I
that
have no
mean?
fucking clue. I just needed a big ass water today, and I got a big ass water.
If it's pH, what the hell? Might
Might
as
as
well,
well,
right?
if it's not going to kill me, it's just, it's going to only make me stronger.
Yeah, there you go, man. Could be killing you little by little every time you drink it,
That's fine.
but it's got pH. It's got
It's got
pH.
pH.
Well, Mike, I do want to start off by saying today on our Chase Claypool
Ooh,
weekly
yes.
report, Mr. Claypool, he caught 5 passes yesterday for Chicago for 28 yards.
Oh,
28 yards. He's really racking it up now, Mike. He's showing them talents off. He's getting an opportunity to show what he has in Chi-Town. In the loss to the Packers that I thought the Bears had under wraps, but the Packers came back and won that football game. So Chase Claypool and the Packers, they fall again, which helps our drafting
yes. Yes, it
situation
does.
out. So go everybody but the Bears.
Exactly. Even though I wanted them to win that game, I'll gladly take the loss.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I thought that yeah, it just didn't look good. We were score watching as we were watching the Steeler game yesterday,
Hmm.
and Chicago looked like they had it, but I don't know what the hell Green Bay did. They woke up briefly and decided to win this football game for once. But yeah, Chicago they did fall, and ching 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 for our
Yes.
draft
Better,
pick.
better, better.
Mike, this is Ravens week. The Ravens week,
Yes.
baby.
It's the best week.
Ravens week, and we have an ailing Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. He has some injury yesterday. I believe it was to his
Yeah,
leg,
knee injury.
knee injury. Ooh, those are big, man. And then you have I thought that was another one. And you're watching this game wondering what's
Hmm.
going on because we didn't know at the time that Lamar was injured, but we did notice that the Denver Broncos were up over the Ravens 9-3, which is a bit peculiar, and that's what it was all about. And that's a good sign to me is the fact that they can't really do anything against a team like
Yeah.
Denver when just this one man isn't in the lineup. That's pretty encouraging as Steeler fans moving forward, getting ready to play them twice, over the next month, and obviously, believe it or not, there's a little bit of a playoff uh,
Yes.
chase at stake here. Mike, I turned on ESPN, and the Steelers were actually in the column that said "in the hunt." We were in the hunt
I
column,
saw
Mike.
that. I was shocked, surprised, happy even. It was a
Yeah,
set of emotions I did not think I would feel about this team this year. But yeah,
and the Steelers have
like you said, that we're playing the bad teams now.
yeah, and these are the ones you should win. So we were winning them, and and you'll notice that there's been multiple times that the Steelers needed to win
Hmm.
out in the past to get to the playoffs. And the one that I could think right off the top of my head was the 05 oh
Yeah.
06, where they needed to win out their season in order to make the playoffs. They entered as a sixth seed and they won the Super Bowl. Again, do I think this team's going to win a Super Bowl? No, I do
Mm-mm.
not think that they're going to win a Super Bowl. However, they can make it interesting and make it a little bit more fun for us fans and make a little bit more money for their city and and prove themselves a little bit more. And I would like to see them at least make a valiant effort
Hmm.
at this run at the playoffs. Whether they get in, whether they don't, that's fine. But you know what? I like to see the effort, and it's looking good so far. The only two games that I think are going to be a real challenge would be the two Baltimore games. Cleveland's going to be a challenge, of course, because they did beat us this year.
Hmm.
They also are within the division, but I think it's also a game that's winnable. I don't think the Cleveland is a not non-winnable game for us. And then the other two teams, Mike, that we have to play um, between Baltimore games is Carolina and the Raiders, which are
Hmm.
definitely winnable games. So let's just say Lamar doesn't play this week, and we get lucky and we squeak by Baltimore, and we pull within 2 games with 4 games left, That gives them time to do maybe what they've done a half dozen times this year and blow
Mhm.
games, and then that gives us time to win against these teams that are winnable games to get ready for that final
Yeah.
showdown, the second matchup against the Ravens near the end of the season, and then obviously we finish out with the Browns. And I think that they said the Ravens also finish out against the Bengals, which is going to be big. So there's a whole bunch going on, Mike. This week it's all North, AFC North. We have the Ravens. The Browns play the Bengals. I think a lot's going to be said this week. And the one thing that we have to do is just win. We have to win. That's the only way we can continue this conversation in this capacity is if the Steelers
Mhm.
win. And this is the biggest game of the year.
It is, and I hope they have the mentality of, like, the next game, every game is the biggest game of the year, because that's the way they need to think if they
Yes.
wanna not only just, like, try to make it through the playoffs, but improve throughout the year. You just have to treat
Yeah.
it, it's that back to basic type of thing, like, we're only worrying about, boom, what's right in front of us, forget everything else. And yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Like, the only, like, games that are going to be tough, that should be tough games, are the two Baltimore games and the Cleveland game. Everything else they should win. The Raiders game, depending on how they're playing, that's going to be the key. Because the Raiders have been bad, but they've also been okay.
Yeah, they squeaked one out
Yeah,
yesterday against the
yeah.
Chargers,
So it's you have
7-point
to.
win.
That one might be a toss up. Depending how both teams are going into it. And if Pittsburgh wants to even, like, remain in the hunt, they can only lose one more game. So they definitely have to
Right.
win the winnable games. Kind of, like yesterday, that was a winnable game. They should have beat Atlanta. Probably should have beat Atlanta by more. But
Absolutely. I agree. I
your
agree.
first five drives, you're kicking field goals. You scored on them.
Yeah.
It's like, if one of
Yeah.
those, just one is a touchdown, the game
That's
has
the
a different.
next
Yeah.
hump. As this season's gone on, there's been little humps. There's
Hmm.
been humps along the way. There's been bumps. There's been hurdles, and we've been successful at getting over these hurdles. This terrible offensive line that was so porous in the preseason and the first couple games that we thought, what, this is going to be so long. The season's going to be so long. This line can't block. But as the season went on,
Hmm.
it got a little bit better. We started clearing these hurdles. It started getting a little bit better. And that's what we have to continue to do. Again, in the hunt should be our
Hmm.
Super Bowl this year. We should all be very excited that our name is in the hunt, and anything beyond that, we can't really get disappointed about. I think that we've the point. You made a great point by saying you can only lose one game. Here's the thing: we have 5 games left. If we win all 5, we have 10 wins. 10 wins.
Hmm.
So, and that's not really that great, but you know what? It will be enough. It should be enough to get you into the playoffs.
Yep.
You lose one game, you're going to be one game over 500 at 9-8 at the end of the season, and that you're really, really pushing it. But beyond that, you lose 2 games, you're
Hmm.
under 500. I like where the Steelers are at this point, and I think that this, like I said, not planning on a Super Bowl trip, not planning on the
Yeah.
playoff trip, looking at it as what it is. It's going to be a good challenge for this team to get better. Kenny's going to is going to take a look at the Ravens
Yep.
rivalry close up. That's good. He's gonna build on that. We're gonna get a couple more games where we're gonna be able to exercise our demons a little bit, and then we have Baltimore again. So I mean, there's these
Yeah.
5 games that's gonna really benefit this team. I think whether we end up in the playoffs, whether we don't
Yeah.
end up whether we end up at 500, I think these 5 games are gonna be big for this team.
They are, and each each one's gonna, it's just more and more experience because this is a very young offense. My God,
Absolutely.
look at your quarterback, your running backs, even your offensive line. Like Mason Cole and Chase Daniels are the the two
Kenny
oldest guys
Pickett,
on the team.
or I mean Pickens or tight end. I mean,
Pickens, yeah,
everybody's so
Fridays,
young.
yeah, they're so young. So the more and more you play, that's better experience. So it be better if they win them, like win out or go 4-1. But
Yeah.
even if they don't, as long as they, just like I said,
Don't lay
but my theme all year is to just slowly improve. This show
Yeah.
improvement game after game after game, or just from point A to point B, no matter the time frame, to show that improvement by the end of the year. And we're starting to see that from a lot of players.
I think the worst case scenario, Mike, is that they go out and they lay an egg. They lose let's say they lose to Baltimore, and then you
Hmm.
just kind of get that feeling of giving up, which I don't think we're going to get this team, Mike.
No.
This team, you feel them growing together. You feel this team is going to be good one day. You feel once they get a couple more pieces in place, this young offense could all grow together, and they might have a great future in the NFL together. And, hopefully that's the case for us people in Pittsburgh. But, I really. I'm excited, man. We got Baltimore. We got Baltimore, Mike. But let's jump back. Let's jump back a moment
Yes.
to the Atlanta Falcons game. Of course, the game yesterday down in Atlanta. The Pittsburgh Steelers up. They end out on top of this contest, 19-16. Mike Tomlin now is 4-0 against Atlanta, along with the Panthers and the Rams, two other teams that he has never lost to in the NFL. So kudos to
Nice.
the big guy. Also, Mike, couple numbers since the bye week. I like to do this every week.
Yes.
Let's see. So we're averaging 163 rushing yards a game, 163.7 rushing yards a game, and we're putting up, more points. We're averaging more points. So all those little things are coming together. And and at the beginning of the season, you knew they were going to happen. And you hate to say the level of competition was too much, because ultimately you have to compete in this league. And if you
Hmm.
want to win a championship, you're going to have to face teams that are good. But you know what? For where we were, it was just an unideal situation. We needed to get our young people in there, get them their reps, and you know what? We were just getting clobbered every guy. I don't think that we've seen a sack yesterday. I don't think that we've had a turnover in quite some time on this team. So those little things, Mike, they are finally starting to come together. And like I said, if anything, these last 5 games could certainly be productive in the sense that
Hmm.
you just tightening all the fine tuning all the
Yeah.
just so I like it. I like it. And then we're going to go into the off season and have a pretty nice draft, hopefully, and come out next year with a different outlook. Um, Mike, like I said, you got let's all right. Let me do this.
Okay.
So Harris yesterday, Najee Harris, Mike, he ran the ball for 17 times for 86
Hmm.
yards. Muth, 3 catches, 76 yards. Deontay had 5 catches, but he had less than the 76 yards. I don't recall. I think he had 50 some yards. KP had 60. He was 16 for 28, 197 yards and a touchdown. Also 7 carries, 14 yards. Um, so they're doing the
Hmm.
things that we said early in the season. They should be able to do these
Yeah.
things. They should be able to run the ball. They should be able to get through a couple games without turning the ball over. They should, and they are, and they're slowly getting there. I'm digging. I think the Falcons was a perfect remedy for a team that's struggling, as
Yeah.
were the
Oh God, yes.
Saints, the whoever the hell else we just beat. But I
Yeah.
don't know, Mike. What do you feel? What do you feel right now? You got 4 games left in the season.
Oh,
Otherwise, this would have been the final quarter of the season. So you
mm,
might just or 5 games. I'm sorry,
yes.
and it would have been 4 games would be the final quarter of the
Mm-hmm.
season. So we have a little bit more than a quarter of a season left. What do you feel, man? What's your take on the team at this point?
They are what they are right now. They are they're a mid team. That's what
Yeah,
they are. They're not great, but they're not terrible. They're just in the middle, and for what they are, they're doing okay. We lost to Cincinnati that second game, but it was competitive.
and it
Like
was a
some of their
7.
losses, some of their losses have been competitive, so it's not a total disaster. They're improving. The running game. Oh my god, glad to see
Love it.
that back. Not just
Yes,
because you're the Steelers, you have to run. No, you just need to
it
run to be
opens up
effective.
everything.
Yes, and we saw that yesterday. People, biting on the run, keying on the run,
Yeah,
and excuse me. So that was a great sign to see in that running game as well. Every running back, when they were called upon, produced. They got yards. Derek Watt on that little like
yeah,
reverse or counter, whatever you want to call it,
he
picked up
got
that nice first down.
yeah.
Um, and see Najee, this was some of the best running I've seen of him since college.
Did you
My
see him throw
God.
that guy to the
Yes,
ground?
what I was about to just say, when he planted that safety into the ground,
I love that
that's
stuff.
what, yes. And he was making smart decisions, hitting the hole fast,
Yeah,
not sitting there taking his time, or taking his time when he needs to take his time. He played smart. He played physical. He played fast. Jalen Warren produced. Benny Snell had some nice key runs. So
no,
you're getting what did we end up with? Like 150 yards, 154 yards rushing, I believe is what we had. So that is that's what you need. That's what this team needs. And
yeah.
just keep going forward with that until the passing game gets there.
Absolutely. And the passing game, you know what? Something encouraging yesterday, Mike. I did look and count. There was nine different
Yes.
Steelers that caught the ball yesterday. That's encouraging too. And for the, the little incident with Pickens, he needs to calm down. He really does need to relax. You're a young man. You're a superstar. You're going to be there. If there's a game where you get one catch, that's the case. We're like I said, we're not hitting on all cylinders at this point. You are going to be the man one day. You're going to do a great things in the league. You got to keep that stuff to yourself, unless you want to turn into a bitter veteran like the guy on the other side who,
It,
go ahead.
in George's defense, though, like when they showed it on camera, he wasn't looking at a coach. He wasn't looking at the quarterback. He was just yelling.
Yeah,
So I think it's being blown way out of proportion. It's
I
just
believe
someone
so too.
frustrated. What it was like on the radio side, no one talked about it. It was like a non-issue because you didn't catch it on the TV camera.
Yeah,
So if you, it's to me, it was just someone being frustrated. But did he go out there and dog plays? No. Did he take plays off? No. Did he still run his route? Yes. Did he still go out there and block? Yes. So he still did his job.
absolutely. You know what? And like I said, if you get, yeah, you're right. He did his job, and because yesterday was the day that Muth had the
Yeah.
most amount of receiving yards. You're going to have that, my man. You're going to have that. You're going to have days that you have the most. You're going to have days that somebody else has the most. Just keep your head up and keep doing what you do, because you're going to be awesome. I'm going to run down, Mike. I'm going to run down through the positions. We're going to do a nice position
Hmm.
coverage today of the game yesterday. I'm going to skip over QB1, because QB1, he got a lot of attention so far this year, and I think that he's doing fair enough that I'm going to breeze right by him and go right into the running game.
Okay.
The running game, Mike, I thought was pretty spectacular. Like you said, we finished with 154 total on the day.
Yep.
Najee, I'm not sure what
He
Najee had
had
86
86.
yards,
Hmm.
86 on 17 carries, 5.1 average. And we seen Benny last week. We seen Jalen. This guy has fire in him, and you got to like you had already covered. The running game is doing great things, and
Hmm.
they have to. That is the next step, I believe, is getting this run game solidified, so you could kind of go from there. The wide receivers, we kind of sort of covered them. The two, number one and number two, would be the two guys that I would be most disappointed in. And I don't even want to say I'm disappointed in George. Um, Number one on the other side, Deontay, I would give
Oh
him
my
hell
God.
today. Okay, and here's the thing: we won, so I'm not going to get. Deontay's going to get nice meat today,
Mhm.
because there's about three things right off the top of my head that I could really go on and on about him and his game yesterday.
Yeah.
But he did make a key. He made a key catch in a position where he needed to make it, where otherwise
Hmm.
he would lose, he would drop that pass, because that's what he does generally in these important situations. He made the pass, he made the play, caught the ball when he needed to. We won the game. Hey, you know what? I'm going to lay off Deontay for today. Pat Fryermuth. Pat
Yes.
Fryermuth is going to be one of the best tight ends in this league.
Hmm.
I'm without a doubt in my mind, he will be one of the best tight ends in the league. He will surpass the days of your Heaths and these guys like that. He's already off to a start to where he's one of the better tight ends that's played the game. And if that would continue to go, and you would think that those numbers would get better as our
Oh
passing
yeah.
game gets better. So I think Muth has all the future in the world. This guy's going to be something. Keep your eye on him, and he's hard to miss, man, because he catches the ball a lot and he makes a lot happen. So
He does too. And once we saw him that long run or that long pass catch. You give him space, give him time. He will make a guy miss. He'll run people over, break the tackle. So that's
yeah.
exciting to watch.
So a lot of offense, a lot of improvement on this offense. Oh, I still got the offensive line. This offensive
Yes.
line, Mike, they allowed no sacks. That's a big, it's like I said, these are things early in the season that you're just so frustrated. You can't even remember our quarterbacks, they couldn't even stand in the pocket for 2
Hmm.
seconds to get a look down the field. All those things are improving. The offense is proving. People get excited. It's happening. We wanted it, and here it is. Let's hop over on the defensive side of the ball. I think the defensive line got pushed around for the most part yesterday. I believe they just lost
Oh,
the physical battle in the
they did
trenches.
big time.
It wasn't enough to cost us the game, but it could have been enough to cost us the game. We got pushed down the field quite a few times on running plays that we probably shouldn't have. The defensive line, Mike, we definitely need some improvements this offseason. They're starting to get old, and it's really getting obvious.
It is too. There was a every once in a while there'd be a little pass rush, but it was nothing sustained. Nothing like it just. it
I think he
came and
got
went.
1 sack. I think Cam Hayward was the only sack
Yeah,
of the
1
game.
sack, yeah, and there's only I just remember a couple pressures, no, 3 quarterback hits, so they really were not generating a lot of pressure,
And
and
this is
that run
against the Falcons team
in
that's
the
not really that
Falcons.
good.
No, and we knew the Falcons had a good rushing attack, but my god, they burnt you for 146 for, like, 5.2 average.
Yeah.
It was not pretty, if Atlanta's, they were just 1, 2 plays away from winning that game.
They were. Let's jump back to the linebackers. I knew immediately upon watching this game, and I was a bit curious going into the game. I thought that, excuse me, TJ Watt looked hurt last week playing, and
Mhm.
it was very obvious. I thought that this week, almost immediately when the game began, that he looked hurt. It took all the way till he made a one arm shoestring tackle, I believe, at one point in the game
Yeah.
for him to actually come off the field and say that he was hurt. So I mean, you never know where TJ is. You just never know. He disguises it when he's really hurt. So it's going to be tough. The other linebackers, Mike, I thought the other linebackers played fair, but in all fairness, in a game where you're getting pushed all over the field in
Mhm.
your running game, how great could your linebackers really have been?
Yeah, and there were a couple instances where, we saw Highsmith had the chance to make a play and did not.
Yeah.
Missed sacks, missed tackles for losses. So that
Hmm.
was that was discouraging because all the hype surrounding him. Hey, you're in that conversation. People are saying, "Oh, you're better than Miles Garrett. You're better than this guy." You have to prove that week in, week out, and
Yeah.
he did not this week. And T.J. Watt, he just it. I've never seen him not steal the edge.
Yeah.
This it he could not. He all he would do is just run at the quarterback, run at the quarterback. He became so one dimensional. He
And it
did
wasn't
not
even
do
his
anything in the run game. It was terrible.
it
He
wasn't
was a
even
non-factor.
his usual shtick. He was, he looked very average. He was
Yes.
getting blocked by that right tackle. He just looked like a very
One-on-one.
average.
He looked like guy beat him one-on-one every down.
Yeah.
Like, they paid more attention to Highsmith. That's not good.
Yeah, so I mean, there is obviously a little bit, and people say that this game should have been more widely decided. I feel that you're right in a couple of ways. I think that we probably should have scored a few more points. Obviously, you want to
Mhm.
punch in on a couple of those field goal drives where you kick the field goal, you should have got six, and then also I do believe there's times that we should have stopped Atlanta, from
Yeah.
gaining the field to where they were able to get 16 points. I think that 9 points would have been more like that team. I think they were
Mhm.
about a 9 point team. Um, so the defense, obviously, again, it's a work in progress. How much can we really keep beating this horse? Like I want to jump to the special teams, which I think
Yes.
stole the show.
They did.
They stole the show. Mike Harvin, the late punt, what drop on a 1.5 yard line,
Yes, it was a
huge.
beautiful, beautiful.
Matthew Wright, 4 for 4, backing up Boswell. And also, Mike, and also the fact that the Steelers managed to keep it away from the threat return man for Atlanta all game long
Yes, Patterson.
on coverage. I think that this special teams stole this game. Here's the thing: those little things were the difference makers because 4 for 4, 4, 3, 6, 9, 12. They had 12 points from field goals. You take one of them away. Say he goes 3 for 4. This game's tied 16-16. Maybe you go to overtime.
Mhm.
Maybe you lose. You just never know. So that's big. The punt was huge. You place that ball there. You give them no chance. Now they have to gun the ball down the field, gives Mink an opportunity to make an interception, end the game. And three, the fact that you did not kick to their strong. You hear this
Yes.
guy all week long how good he is. You can't kick to him. They kept it away from him. That's the way you coach a team, Coach T. I love it. I love it. I love it because a guy like that could change the course of a game. You win by 3 points. One return up over the 50-yard
Mhm.
line changes the course of that game.
Oh, big time.
And you can't say enough about special teams. The rest of the team, they are improving. They're getting a little better. Special teams played like a bunch of all-stars yesterday.
They did. Every kickoff was perfect.
Yeah.
Landa lines up both return man. So why not just have one solo or have them in like an I formation? So you have to kick to them.
Yeah.
So they messed up there, but we did it perfect. Pooch kicks, short kicks. They had 55 yards. Excuse me, 55 total yards on kick returns. We had the two punts, 0 return yards. that's hitting yardage right there that gets lost in the shuffle. That's like you just said is big if you get a good return. We limited them to nothing. It was perfect. The only downside was Sims. He had that one muff. And that was it. Other
Yeah,
than that, hey, he got it back. Next one, he played it safe, fair caught it. A plus for this team.
absolutely. Special teams, they get the game ball, in my opinion. Everybody else played great. Offense played good.
Mm-hmm.
Defense was a little, shaky. I mean, it was average at best. And like I said, you still won the football game. You only gave up 16 points, so you can't take too much away. But as Steeler fans, we can sit there and pick out little individual things that we do see that other people aren't seeing as the weeks go on. But special teams, kudos to you. That is the game ball of the week, goes to the
Yes,
special
yes, yes.
teams. Mike, also Connor Hayward. Connor Hayward scored a touchdown, and Cam Hayward. The only reason I'm saying this, give me one moment, I'll explain. Cam
Mm-hmm.
Hayward had 2 tackles, 2 assists, and a sack. And his little brother Connor scored a touchdown, which is where his dad played a lot of his career, all that in New Orleans. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you've seen, but Cam afterward had his
Yep.
dad's 34 jersey. Good for them. They played home. They were in their dad's hometown. They did great things. Good for them. It's a win. Let's move on. Do it against the Ravens. That's my thing, because you know what? A lot of people could do it against the Falcons. Let's see who can do it against the Ravens.
Yes.
One more thing, Mike, before we do move on, my question is, I want you to answer me a question, okay?
Okay.
What was the problem? What was the problem? What was the deal with Minka running out of bounds, and he didn't he didn't score the touchdown, and everyone's like, that was such a great thing he did. I don't
Uh,
understand. Explain to
okay.
me in
So,
football terms why that was a good thing.
so if he if he scores the touchdown, okay,
They
we
go up
kick off.
10.
Yeah, we go up 10, so we kick off. They get a couple plays. Well, if they get a fluke touchdown, get the fluke onside recovery, and then they can tie it up. Or, we kick off, we hold, then the defense goes back out there. Minka gets hurt. Cam gets hurt. A key player gets hurt. So by running out of bounds, you just limit it to, hey, one play, we have the ball, kneel down, game over.
Uh,
So you limit all those factors. You limit a fluke comeback, a fluke injury, just, get the ball out of bounds, get down,
yeah.
let the offense kneel it out and go home.
Okay. I mean, we could counter back and forth all day. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I asked you for your honest opinion, and you
No,
give it to
I
me.
was just saying like that's what
Yeah,
people were thinking about it or why they thought it was a good play. Me, I would have went for the points,
absolutely,
but
absolutely.
but I understand both sides on this one
Okay,
because there's both valid reasons on both sides.
fair enough. I just think that when you're sitting there at the end of the season, and people are really good. The Steelers only scored this
Yeah,
amount of points. And then, well, this is why. I mean, we could have certainly scored 7 more points, but okay. I just wanted to
yeah,
make sure that I had this clear, and
mhm,
I wasn't off somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Mike. Over the weekend, I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's go. Let's jump down to another big weekend for college football. College football, Mike. This was
Oh
week
yeah.
13, week
Oh
13,
man.
week 14. I forget whatever they call it because they have bye weeks. But anyway, Mike, some big games. Some big games. They're trying to figure out who's going to end up in the college playoff this season. Some of the top games. I'm going to give you the top 4 or 5 games that I have right here in front of me, Mike.
Mhm.
The Michigan Purdue, which was a big one. Number 2 Michigan playing against Purdue to see who could be the Big Ten champion. Michigan blows them out of the water, 43-22. In the ACC, the North Carolina and Clemson. Now, this was one that I thought that North Carolina had a chance to win because
Yeah.
this Drake May, this quarterback
Mhm.
in North Carolina, is the real deal. I thought for sure he'd be able to keep it a little bit closer, but Clemson runs away 39-10. LSU and Georgia. Georgia sitting in 1, LSU sitting at
Ooh.
16. You thought this game would have been a lot better than it
Oh
was.
no, no, no.
50-30, 50-30, everybody.
Blowout. Yeah, Georgia just dominated in the first half and this, held it down in the second.
And let's see, Kansas State, number 11,
Upset.
over TCU. A little bit. I don't know if it was a surprise, but that was kind of a big thing, which it didn't affect TCU in the same way that it affects the next team I'm going to talk about.
Yes.
The USC Trojans really got the screw, in my opinion.
Yes, they did.
Um, they lose to Utah, that was their only other loss this season was to
Mhm.
Utah, and the final count on that was 47-24. Now they royally got screwed, I think, because you're 1 through 4 in the playoff is Georgia 1,
Mm-hmm.
Michigan 2,
Yep.
Ohio State 3,
Yes.
and TCU 4.
Yes.
And USC was sitting in there.
Mm-hmm.
They lose. They lose their championship game. Yet TCU loses. They remain in the playoff spot.
Yes.
Ohio State didn't play. They
Yes.
jump back into a playoff
Mm-hmm.
spot. You got to be pretty shitty if you're a Trojans fan, don't you?
Yeah, you have to. Even though, yes, USC or USC has 2 losses. Ohio State only has 1. But who made it to the championship game? USC.
Right, right.
So they got penalized for making it to a championship game, where Ohio State got rewarded for not making their championship game.
Yeah.
Makes 0 sense whatsoever.
And here's the thing, say it was TCU. Now, see, I
Hmm.
think TCU is a little bit out of their league. I think that they're
Yeah.
going to have trouble in the playoffs. That wouldn't have bothered me as much because they did
Hmm.
lose that game. And if USC would have stayed in there, but it's the other way around. And it's like you said, I mean, up until that point, USC was a 1-loss team.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it, Mike. I just don't get it. I think USC would put forth a better
Hmm.
competition in the playoffs than TCU would. I think that we're going to see TCU bow out pretty early. They play who number 1 Georgia. Is that the
Yeah. Hmm.
and so number 2? So the first game
I
on
think
the
that's
other
how it's
side,
going. No,
yeah,
wait, no. I think it's Georgia TC. No, I forget. I forget the order now. Oh,
1 Georgia, 2 Michigan, 3 TCU, 4 Ohio State. So Ohio State and
Georgia.
Georgia
Yeah.
and Michigan and TCU.
TCU. Yep, that's correct.
So I mean, I'm saying I'm gonna, just like a lot of other people predicting a Georgia Michigan national championship.
Me too. Yeah, I I don't see TCU beating any of those teams.
No, and I think USC again could have made a good run.
Hmm. Yeah, they could have, but it's they got screwed big time.
Absolutely, man. So that was the all the college over the weekend. Side note, Mike, the Penn State Nittany Lions, Penn State, they're going to the
Oh,
Rose Bowl, Mike, the Rose
yes,
Bowl to play Utah. To play
yes.
Utah. The Utes, the same team that we just had a issue with the USC. This
Hmm.
should be a really good game. Utah versus Penn State in the 109th Rose Bowl on January 2nd.
Granddaddy of them all, my favorite bowl game every year, the Rose Bowl.
And then also, Mike, the Pitt Panthers, they get number 18 UCLA and the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, which falls on December 30th, and that game's at 2 o'clock p.m. Mike, the Pitt Panthers, they have 196 sacks from 2019 to 2022. They have 196 sacks, which leads the country. Clemson comes in at number 2 with 170 sacks. Alabama number 3, 160 sacks, and Miami 4 with
Oh
146
wow,
sacks.
that's some elite company right there, and they're
Absolutely.
number one. That's insane.
Well, here's the thing.
Excuse me.
That's the thing that we have working for us. We have going for us. Our defense is usually pretty good. We get guys
Hmm.
going to the pros out of our defense all the time. The sacks, the interceptions, all those things are good. But the other side of the ball, the offense is where we
Hmm.
sometimes struggle. And I just read this morning that Keaton Slovis, Mike, intends to enter the transfer
Oh
portal.
my God, it's
So I
gonna
don't know
be.
if that's going to be a good thing for us or a bad thing for us.
Well,
But
there's a couple quarterbacks who they're rumored to go to Pitt now.
I'm sorry.
There's a couple quarterbacks in the transfer portal that are rumored to be coming to Pittsburgh.
Oh wow, okay. I
Yeah,
can't wait to see because I'm really excited to see who might be under center next year.
it's going to
For
be.
Pitt.
It could be a totally different offense next year.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You know what? I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm already excited, Mike. Um,
Like
so
if Pitt's offense doesn't focus around a band of Canada, though, there's something wrong.
yeah. Oh, for
You,
sure.
you build around him.
Also, Mike, the other college news, Deion Sanders named coach of the Colorado
Hmm.
Buffaloes. I like it. Congratulations, Deion. You know what? This is what it's about. You have people upset that he's taking this job. What I see is somebody who's is being successful in what it is that they do. Now, sometimes these guys they go from pros to coaching or
Mhm.
to announcing. He really went. He took his job serious. Did great things with Jackson State. He's now getting a real deal job with a real deal team, and has an opportunity to make something with that. These people that are complaining about the decision he's making to go coach over there, I think they're crazy. Why wouldn't you want? I don't know. I see this as an opportunity for him to do greater things. I mean, he's off to a good start with coaching, and I don't know. I would like to see him do great things in Colorado.
Like the thing is that like in college, you tell the kids, "Hey, man, I'm going to be here for these 4 years for you." Then, boom, next year you're gone. That's
Yeah,
where a lot of people have issue with that. But now with the transfer portal, he told like Buffalo at the team, at that team meeting, it's like, yeah, our new quarterback's coming. Our new all these players are coming now. They're going to be transferring with me. So
yeah.
the, he's
Buffalo's probably
bringing
thinking, geez, yeah, a bunch of
yeah,
Jackson
right.
State players. All right, yeah,
Yeah, but a lot of those Jackson State players were rated nationally high
right.
coming out of high school, and they went to Jackson State all because of Dion. So they can play at this level as they chose to go down there. So it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes for him to build them into a powerhouse. Even I'm
I,
not going to say like a national
uh,
championship team, but maybe like a top 10, top 15
I
team.
like it. I like Dion. I like to see him be successful, and I like to see him be successful in coaching. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Mike, also in my last couple notes for sports here,
Hmm.
Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds again. He is
Yes,
requesting to be traded for the Pirates. I thought he was such the loyal player,
he
and
was. He was. Yeah. Wish.
goodbye. He's a skunk. I couldn't.
Yep.
I didn't like him from day one. There's just something about him. He's a skunk.
Yeah. He
Um,
I was never a big Brian Reynolds fan.
yeah. And then also Mike Tyson Fury defeats Derek Chisora by TKO to defend his titles over the weekend. Mike, some Tyson Fury.
I didn't even know he was still boxing. I
He
didn't
went
even know
off.
there was a fight.
Yeah, he went out Friday. Friday night was his fight. He had a whole shitload of belts hanging off him, and he went out there and defended them. He's a bad dude, man.
Dude's nuts.
Penguins, they win Saturday night 6-2 over the
Mhm.
Blues. I don't have their next game in front of me, Mike. If you can pull that up
Yeah,
real quick.
1 second here. Columbus Blue Jackets. The
And so,
Columbus Blue Jackets.
all right. So Columbus is coming up for the Penguins. Let's keep this winning thing going, guys. And finally, Mike, over in the soccer world, the World Cup of Soccer. I think America was the most successful team. The United States was the most successful team this weekend because they managed to get the hell out of Qatar. They
Yes.
can now come home where there's clean water and no chance of no new global pandemics popping up around them anywhere. Get home, guys. Get home safe. Play soccer over here or something. I don't know. But the other Mike, over the weekend, Saturday, the Argentina beat Australia 2 to
Yes.
1. Sunday, France beat Poland 3 to 1,
Whew.
and England beat Senegal 3-0.
Wow.
This morning, while I was getting prepared for the show, Japan and Croatia was playing. They were 0-0 at that point. And today at 2 p.m., like a big game between Brazil and South Korea.
That is going to be a very good game. South Korea beat Portugal in their
Wouldn't that be something if
last
South
four
Korea
game.
beats Brazil?
Brazil, that would be insane.
Yeah.
Soccer world would not know what to do.
No, they would not. They would not. And then Japan, Croatia. Did you catch that score?
Um, did I look at that? Oh, 1-1
1-1.
at the
So there you
half.
have it. If you were into Japan or Croatia, there you go. Mike, what do you say we jump? We got to jump right into picks,
Oh,
man.
okay.
Jump right into picks. What I'm going to do, I'll
Ooh,
read the scores that we don't have similar picks on, then we'll go back and address those afterwards. So the first game, like the first game of the weekend that I want to talk about is the Steelers and the Falcons. The Steelers obviously they beat the Falcons 19-60. We covered that.
mm-hmm.
So that was one that we did not have similar. The next one that we did not have, we both wanted the Vikings to beat the Jets, and the Vikings did win that game 27-22. Got a lot closer at the end of the game than I thought that it was going
Yeah.
to. And I think it was like maybe one of these last play deals that
Last play.
Minnesota stopped them and
Yep.
got the win.
Mm-hmm.
The next game, Mike, the Lions and Jaguars. Both of us took the Lions in this game over the Jaguars, and
Blowout.
rightfully so, because yes, the Lions did win 40-14. There's that Lions team that I've been picking all year.
Finally, they finally show up. They're like Pittsburgh, man. They're picking it up at the end of the year.
Yes. Now we have to hop all the way forward to the Broncos and Ravens. Mike, both and I took the Ravens in this game. I thought it'd be a no-brainer, but we both almost took the L right on
Yes,
the chin
eked out that victory.
as the Ravens win 10-9. Seahawks and Rams. We take the Seahawks. Both Mike and I take the Seahawks. They did win that game 27-23 over the Super Bowl champions.
Rams not looking so hot this year. Who I did not see this coming at all.
No. The Raiders and Chargers. Both Mike and I took the Chargers. The Raiders, they get the win. I don't know how. I don't know
I'm
why. I
done
don't
with the
know.
Chargers. I'm done.
27-20. The Raiders win that football game. The Raiders will be here right around Christmas time for the Immaculate
Yes.
Reception 50-year
The
anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs Bengals. This one surprised me. Mike and I both took the Chiefs in this game. The Bengals win again 27-24, their third win against the Chiefs in the 2022 calendar year. And they win by the same exact score they beat them by in the AFC Championship, 27-24. Unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable. And Jamar Chase was just going insane in that game.
He was a monster.
Those one-handed catches on the sideline. It's freak.
And finally, Mike, the Sunday Night Football game. I didn't expect the Colts to win. Neither did Mike. We both took the Cowboys, but did we expect the Cowboys to win 54-19? No.
First time in NFL history we had a game finish 59-14.
Wow. That is crazy. Not often you see 54 points. And the thing is, like, a lot of time these super teams, they don't even score 54 points.
No.
But as you seen last week as well as I did, that Colts team is not a good football team.
No, they are
not good.
Terrible.
It's time for Mr. Matty Ice to hang them up, I think. And
done.
They have a lot of things that they got to do over there. All right, Mike. So we have 5 games. We have 5 games today where we did go head to head. We butted heads, Mike. The first one being the Packers versus the Bears. Mike, you took the Bears in this game.
I did.
And you know what? And I thought that I was wrong by taking the Packers. I've been watching them for the past 3 or 4 weeks, and we've been commenting on them for the past 3 or 4 weeks and how bad that they've been and how shoddy Aaron Rodgers' play has been. When it was said and done, it was the Packers 28-19, Mike, 28-19.
Justin Fields is playing so well, and that team just cannot get this kid a win.
He's literally the only one playing well on that team.
He is. He's carrying that whole entire team.
Next game would be the Titans and Eagles. For whatever reason, Mike chose the Titans in this game. You know what? I wouldn't have. I didn't think that it was a bad idea. I thought if a team could beat the Eagles down the stretch, I thought the Titans
on the ball, control the clock.
Yeah, right. Eagles win this one handily, 35-10. The next one, Mike. The next one, Washington and the Giants. And you joked on Friday while we were doing our
yes, I did.
And you said, what if we get a tie? And we both laughed and we scoffed and pointed and everything else. Here it was. The team formerly known as the Redskins and the New York Giants finishing a 2020 tie. Mike, 2020 tie. Who would have known? What a crazy, crazy season in the NFL this is.
Yeah, I can't believe it happened. I figured one of those teams would find a way to win.
Yeah.
It's horseshit.
Yeah.
But yet, I love the chaos of us trying to figure out who's going to be the winner.
Yeah, me too. Another one, Mike, is the Browns and Texans. You took you took the Texans. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I took Deshaun and the Browns. And the Browns ended up winning that game 27-14. You know what? My reason had nothing to do with quarterbacks. It had nothing to do with Deshaun Watson. It had nothing to do with the 2 teams playing. My decision has to do with I didn't think that the Houston Texans, when it was all said and done, was going to be able to
Yeah, that's
stop
fair.
Chubb in the offense in the running game of Cleveland, and that was going to be ultimately what wins the game. So,
That's fair.
and
I was just hoping Texans would find a way to win, or at least the Browns would find a way to Browns the game and
right,
lose
and
one.
that's always
So
a possibility, of
yeah,
course.
yeah. I think that was my entire logic going into it.
And being a game that had the Deshaun Watson
Hmm.
thing hanging
Yep.
over, maybe that could have been the game. Yeah, I get you. And the last one, Mike, you did win this one. You chose the San Francisco 49ers. I chose the Dolphins.
Yes,
And the 49ers win 33-17.
Brock Purdy.
That you know what? That 49er team, that's gonna be a tough team. That defense is
Oh
so
yeah.
good. They got nice skill players on offense.
Hmm.
I don't want to see them win a Super Bowl to tie the Steelers, but I would like to see them make a decent little run to
But
playoffs.
I know Garoppolo was injured. Was it a bad injury?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah, because I
recall.
know he got hurt, and then Brock Purdy, Mister Irrelevant, came in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. He had the ankle injury, and I haven't heard any other updates. So if it's
So
bad and he's out for the year, whoo,
oh
that
yeah,
defense is going to
that's
have to pick it up big time.
they're gonna have to have one of them Ravens runs if
Yep.
that's the case. So Mike, that finishes the picks for the week. You went 1-3-1. And I'm going to offer you my services if you would like. I'll make your picks for you next week.
And- no, God damn it,
Not
no.
being arrogant, just to help you out
I
because
know. I thought I had it this week, man. I was making sound, logical
you didn't make
decisions.
bad picks. It was just,
No, it was the
just
way
the
the
way the
cookie
cookie
crumbles.
crumbled. Yes, sir.
Fuck this segment.
But that was the picks, everybody. Mike, I think we have a little time here. Let's go ahead and jump. You will jump from the foul line into
The news.
10-year-old Milwaukee boy fatally shot his mother in the face because she wouldn't buy him a virtual reality headset.
If your kid wants a VR headset, get that kid a VR headset. That's all I'm saying. That this what this news story is telling me. If you want to live as a parent, get
You know
your
the
kid
shitty
what they
thing, Mike?
want.
I just seen something on TikTok the other day. It was this woman, excuse me, this woman, she took her 14-year-old son's iPad from him
Uh huh.
for a punishment. And she came home from work, and what the old video was her walking around showing the damage that he did to her home. Dude, everything that was in that house that was glass was broken.
Ooh.
Everything in that house that was a bad situation, like holes in walls,
Yeah.
just things. There was not an inch that this kid did not cover. He was so pissed off and so spiteful that his mom took
Yeah.
the iPad from him. The damage, the glass that was in the baby's like he had a little baby
Uh huh.
brother or sister. I've never seen nothing like this. This is I don't know. I don't know what's going on from when we were younger, but
Oh,
this is
that shit
not
would
the
not
way
happen.
you would have reacted
Mm-mm.
as a kid when we were kids. You would have got that ass
You
whooped.
would got beat. Ooh, dude, I'm gonna go be sick.
You got to
Ooh,
throw up.
yeah,
Well, don't leave.
some bad. I had some bad breakfast or something.
Oh, don't leave. Just throw up.
No, 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 no. Carry the show. Oh God, I am so sorry.
Do you have a bag?
No,
Throw up in a box.
no.
Get that lampshade right behind you.
All right, I think I might be good. All right, let's go.
Holy shit! What was that all about?
I I I don't know, man. I've been sick for like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and I am just it's not feeling
All
it.
right, we got 6.5 minutes. Can you hang in for 6.5 minutes to bust this
Probably
out?
not. Probably not.
McDonald's is trying new ideas to make fast food even faster. For example, they're considering conveyor belts, a pickup for delivery workers, and a shelf where people can grab their orders. Basically, all the things that every other company did
Yeah,
whenever we were in the pandemic. Correct? I mean,
yeah,
you
yeah.
see these things
Yeah,
basically
but they're doing it
everywhere
like
you go.
in stores, so yeah, pretty
Um,
convenient. Walk in, just grab and go.
yeah. Kanye says that he believes Elon Musk is a half Chinese genetic hybrid.
God,
Elon's response, I take that as a compliment.
these two are. I can do without them, but oh my God, the stuff that they say is like the unintentional comedy off the charts.
Yeah. and it's three. It's the three mouths: Kanye, Elon, and Trump. Could you imagine being
Hmm.
in the same room with those three guys?
Oh.
Anybody that you want to put in the hole in prison,
Hmm.
send it to. He's off. Oh, this is gonna be good. Oh. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal with Mike is. He has been sick for a couple of weeks, and now he's off. He's off to throw up everybody. So when we come back, we'll get an exclusive one and only interview with Mike after he throws up. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. But yes, Kanye, Donald Trump, and Elon Musk. These three guys, I don't know. They should have a reality show. They should have a reality show where they follow these guys around, and nobody really knows how these three guys all got so disgustingly rich if you think about it. They were all kind of raised. I guess Kanye with his career, but you figure Kanye's he reached over $1 billion. I think $2 billion. That doesn't seem very. I mean, even with endorsements and things like that, generally I don't think that this is what these guys are making, what these guys are worth. So at the end of the day, I have to ask myself, where are these guys getting all this? Where did they get their initial capital to become who they are? Because obviously Trump was born into money, Elon Musk was born into money, and Kanye, I don't know, but these three guys, they're insane. They should definitely have their own show, and I would certainly be watching that. I'm gonna hop back, and that was because that was today's news. So we are patiently waiting. We're patiently waiting my co-host return to the show because he had just left. I mean, if you're watching, this is real time. We are here at 12:29 p.m. on Monday, December 5th, waiting for Mike to get back from throwing up. I literally seen his mouth was kind of blowing out like this. You know when you have to throw up your so he was literally about to puke. I wanted him to stay. I wanted him to puke on the air. I thought that'd be good for the show, but not Mike. He had to go off to go throw up. So when he gets back, we will get firsthand word on how the throwing up went. But yes, the Steelers, everybody, the Steelers. This is Ravens week. We do play at home against Baltimore. Hopefully, the Pigeons uh, will be there to help us through. We do need to win. We have 5 games left, and the first, this is a really big one because the thing is, say we lose this game to Baltimore, the last 4 games become really, they kind of do become insignificant, and you're it stinks because if they do lose, you still have to play the Panthers, you still have to play the Raiders, and those are going to be good games to fine tune and still continue to work and grow and move forward and get better as a football team. But it's going to be, it kind of stinks to have that opportunity be thrown away. If we win this game, it's a whole new ball game. If we win this game, we're sitting 2 games out of first place with 4 games left. 2 of those games being against the Panthers and the Raiders, and the other 2 games being against the Browns and the Ravens again. So this game, just like every other game, is the biggest game of the year. I hope these Steelers can pull it off, and if they could get this victory this week, that's huge. It'll be another win that they could stack on top of the wins that they've just put together over the past 2 weeks, and maybe that could be good signs again as to finishing out the season, and hopefully if we could land a playoff spot, awesome. That'd be pretty great. So
Yeah, playing spot would be nice.
I think just for the morale of the troops, for the
It would.
morale of the
Yes.
fans, for the
Yes.
morale of everybody that counted everything out at the beginning of the season, everything was so bad, and if you could just be mentioned at the end of the year
Yeah.
with the playoffs after the start that we had, I think
Hmm.
that's a victory.
Even a game under 500, you're just that close to it.
Yeah,
That's a win for this team. And like I said, like I keep saying, as long as everyone's showing improvement, or more than enough players are showing improvement, then
yeah.
there's that time for the future.
So how many times did you throw up?
Twice.
Ooh, was it a lot?
No, no,
Chunky?
a little chunky.
What was in it?
My breakfast
Ooh,
and a little bit of the pizza from yesterday.
mm, okay.
Yeah, so something I had in between there.
Did it feel like you had to throw up all morning, or was this just kind of like
Yeah,
it just hit you?
it was like on the ride home from work,
Yeah,
or like an hour and a half ago.
huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are down, Mike. We're down to
Oh,
the last minute. You
thanks
want
for
to
carrying the
squeeze?
show there.
Hey, no problem, my man. You want to
Well,
go ahead and squeeze this trivia in?
yeah.
We have Baltimore Raven trivia. Baltimore
Mm,
Ravens. How well do you know your enemy? Of course, we are playing the Ravens this week. Everybody knows that. And today's trivia, Mike, is a Baltimore Ravens question. Are you ready?
I am ready.
We're going to start off nice and simple for you this year, and we're going to get a little bit more difficult as the week goes on.
All right.
All right, here we go. This is going to be a multiple choice. Here's your question. What year were the Ravens founded? Was it 95, 96, 97, or 98? What year were the Ravens founded? 95, 96, 97, 98, and go.
I remember the last game, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
I picture everything except the year. I can't remember if I was in middle school or high school.
You would have been. Oh, you would have been.
Yeah.
Oh, you were right on the edge.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't remember the year.
All right, everybody, pencils down. Today's question of the day, the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens week. What year were the Ravens founded? Mike's choices are 95, 96, 97, 98. Mike, you want to take a stab at it?
96.
96. And is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, let me get you logged in here. And you were logged in. All right, everybody, one more time for the people in the back. What year were the Ravens founded? 95, 96, 97, 98. Mike says 96, my graduation year. And that, Mike, is how I remember it. It was my graduation year, and that's always the thing that I could remember because the Stinky Birds,
Mm-hmm.
they did pop up that year, 1996. You are
Yes.
correct, Mike. Way to start the week. Way to start
Whew.
the Ravens week of trivia. Great job.
Pulled that one out of my you know what.
Yes, yes. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, sir?
Dumyinzers.com. Head on over there. We have links to YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, 3 platforms you can find us on. There's links to the Facebook page, Twitters, Instagrams, all that fun stuff over at twodumyinzers.com.
And there you have it, everybody. We're live all week long from Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Please continue to check us out every day. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Mike, do you have anything before we take off for today, man? Even if it's vomiting, give me something. Give me something.
Let's go Steelers. You know, you're showing the improvements. Running games there. Pass defense was doing all right. Defense of running and offensive passing. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Yes, we're moving in the right direction, everybody. Mike hits it right on the head, guys. Go Steelers. Things are looking better. Biggest game of the year. Biggest game of the year. Biggest game of the year against the Baltimore Ravens at home against the Steelers and the Pigeons this coming Sunday. You're not going to want to miss it. This is the biggest Steeler game of the year. For
Ravens
Ryan,
week.
Mike, the two Dum Yinzers, have a great